the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double. Today we're finishing the first parak from Zechus Yoma. We're starting the second parak. Parak Aleph Mishnah Ches. B'chol Yom Tormis and Mizbeach B'kriyas Hagever Osamuchlo. There's a mitzvah of Trumas Hadeshen. Trumas Hadeshen is basically taking the ashes, the Evarim and Pedarim, the leftover limbs of the animals that were burnt on the Mizbeach overnight, which is why we daven Marav. Can I get that? So anything, the ashes basically in the morning were taken and placed on the pile, Trumas Hadeshen. They took the ashes and they placed it to the east of the Mizbeach on the floor, and then miraculously was swallowed up in this place. When did you do that? B'kriyas HaGever. Now, Kriyas HaGever is not clear what it is. Machlokas in the Gemara, one opinion, Rav says it's talking an actual person called out. Another opinion says it's actually when the rooster cries out in the morning, right? Which normally associate Alos HaShachar. I think both opinions really say it's Alos HaShachar or close Alos HaShachar. So Osam Muchlo, Ben Lefanav Ben Lachar, it doesn't have to be exactly precisely at Alos HaShachar. It could be half an hour before, half an hour after. However, Yom Kippurim and Chatzos, Yom Kippurim, they let the Kohen Gadol do it in the morning, in Chatzos, the middle of the night. So you shouldn't be tired during the day. Regalim Mashmur HaRishon, and the Regalim, when there were a lot of animals being brought, it was even earlier. Ashmur Rishon is basically, let's say, on a 6 to 6 night. It would basically be, you divide the night into 3 parts. It would be basically around 10 o'clock at night. By the time of the Regalim, by the time Kriyas HaGever was there were people who wanted to get their Korbanos in early because there were so many Korbanos brought on the Regel, on the Shalosh Regalim. So therefore, by the time Kriyas HaGever, when the person called out or the rooster called out, already people were filling up the Azara. Perek Beis, Mishnah Aleph. In the beginning, any Kohen who went from the Mishmar, right? They had 24 Mishmaros, which basically divided basically twice a year. Your Mishmar worked for a week at the Mizbeach. And any one of those Kohanim, there are a bunch of Kohanim in the family, anyone who wanted to do Trumas Hadeshen could do it. But it was Mashir Merubah and Ratzim Olim Rekevesh. There was a lot of people competing for it. They would run up at Kriyas HaGever, they would run up and try to be the first one to do it. Whoever got to the 4 amos, it was 32 amos, so the ramp was 32 amos long. So whoever got to the last, to the 28th, 29th amma first, they were the ones that were zocha to do Trumas Hadeshen. If they were exactly equal, 2 people, the person in charge, or the person in charge of making sure that the right people got the right schusim, the right avodos, the right jobs. So he would say, basically, let's do, stick out 1 finger, stick out 2 finger. Let's auction, let's raffle it off. They would stick out either 1 or 2 fingers. The Gemara, according to one opinion, it says that really everyone stuck out 1 finger. The old people, it was hard for them to stick out 1 finger. They got to stick out 2 fingers. I believe others explain that even even younger people got to stick out 2. And then the person in charge would pick out a number, let's say 100 or something like that, and they would have all the Kohanim who wanted to be part of Trumas Hadeshen. It wasn't just those 2 people that were equal. It fell back to all the Kohanim, and all of them would stick out 1 or 2 fingers, and they'd say a number 100, 150, and they would count and then whoever it would land on would get that right. And you can't, when the fingers you stick out, you can stick out any finger you want, but except for the thumb, because the thumb, if you stick out a thumb, it looks like it's the next person. It's far away from the other fingers. The other fingers are close to each other. The thumb is far away, so it looks like you're actual 2 people, and really you're doing it for yourself. You're counting twice. It's an unfair advantage, so therefore you can never take out your agudal as the 1 finger. That's the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Ian Mitzion, where I discuss the last Mishnah in Parak Aleph and discuss this mitzvah of Trumas Hadeshen. What exactly in Lamdus? What exactly is the mitzvah of Trumas Hadeshen? Is it part of the avoda of the Evarim Pudarim, or is it part of the Seder Hayom of the first thing that you do in the morning? Nowadays we say Berachas HaShachar in the morning. The first you do in the morning is Trumas Hadeshen. It's part of Avodas Halayla, the completion of Avodas Halayla, or Avodas Hayom. We'll talk about that. Ian Mitzion coming up next.